worried at the time about like people at school, what they would think, But no, everyone was pretty cool about it. It was, yeah, after I got back, I started to realize that sometimes people have misconceptions, and for a while I was worried getting into this job that I'm in now that maybe it would affect my ability to get a job as a journalist,
As a serious journalist or what, right?
But so far it hasn't, which is good.
Yeah, well, we are definitely in a different time today, even though, even in 4 years ago, maybe that might have. I think everyone has grown up a little lately, and the internet has just filled us with so much information. It's like, dude, she was just dancing, like, and good on her. And she's come back to Queensland with a worldview.
Yeah,
that's a really important thing, I'll bet, as a journalist.
Yeah,
you know, those people that you know from school who haven't left the suburb even, and I find, I hate saying this, often they're a little negative and a little, you're like, oh mate, you don't even know what bad is. See a poor country or something, and you'll really appreciate this. And do you find that?
Yeah, it's I mean, even in Paris, which is such a, when you think of it, you think of like the Champs-Élysées and, all the beautiful buildings with like the gold tips, and, you think of it as this incredibly rich city, and it is, but yeah, certainly, like, I had never experienced poverty until I went to Paris and saw like the slums there and stuff like that. It completely blew my mind because I'd never, I was about to say I've never left Australia before that point. I'd been to New Zealand, so, but in terms of like a huge different cultural experience, yeah, it completely blew my mind at 18, having never lived alone, having never really travelled outside of, in a culturally different place. And it's the little things, I think, because obviously, like, it's still similar culturally, but there are little things that they do completely differently, and it just takes you by surprise. Right, yeah. And it's huge.
Thousands of years of culture. Yeah.
One of the things that blew my mind about Paris, one of the things that I love most, and I went back to Paris last year. It wasn't my first trip back since the Moulin, but it was my mum's first trip back, and I went with her. We went to the Catacombs, which is not somewhere that a lot of tourists go, mostly because there's so much to see in Paris, and generally you're strapped for time. But if you do go to Paris, and if you do have time to go, you've got to go see the Catacombs. So basically, they ran out of, in years and years and years ago, they ran out of space in the cemeteries for all the dead people. So they just buried them underground in tunnels. And you can like wander through these tunnels, and there's like, and it's like the most bizarre, like macabre experience, because whoever stacked them has done like love hearts of skulls and like all this really weird stuff. And it'll just blow your mind, like the volume of bones in there. It's just walls, and that's only the parts that you're allowed to go see. You can see like these tiny little holes that used to be tunnels, that it's just like this rambling maze all beneath the city of just bones, just dead people.
Beneath the city?
Yeah, the entire city is just built on bones. It's amazing. It's just this hollowed out cavern that runs for hundreds of kilometres.
Haven't they seen Poltergeist?
Oh,
the movie?
It's
the
so
first?
scary.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. And then when you walk
built a house on top of the grave. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, that's like Paris. The entire city is like built on dead people. And when you walk in, like, the first thing you see is this sign that says, I'm not going to say it in French because I'll mess it up, but it basically says, "Stop, here lies the empire of the dead." Wow. It's like the creepiest thing ever, but it's so cool. And it's dead quiet. Like, yeah, it's amazing. You got to go there. It'll blow your mind.
Wow.
It's cool.
It's a different world. It was only, that was the plague, right? I think.
Yeah.
The only thing I read about it.
Yeah, I think so.
When people would die.
Yeah, like
you just all the time. We are so lucky right now.
I know.
You know
thank goodness that
like
we don't have to build a catacombs on the Gold Coast. It'd be weird.
I would definitely create some love heart heads though.
Oh yeah, it's like bizarre, and there's like all sorts of crosses made of skulls, and someone's done like a skull and crossbones. Oh, it's like, it's the creepiest thing ever.
Wow.
But it's so cool. I love creepy stuff.
I wonder if they blocked off a room. We're like, dude, don't go down there. Let's stop the tourists going there, because that was crazy Johnny. Johnny made all those other shapes with those bones. Your phone's ringing.
Oh my God.
Can you answer it?
No, I can't. It's a politician. He can wait.
Really? Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff.
Dead set.
It's my day off.
Yeah. So, okay, tell us what it's like. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, if I think it's proof that for you to go away when you're 18, live alone, another country, you're forced to fight for yourself, which is good for everyone. Mm-hmm. Come back, everyone thinks of you a little different because you've missed out all that.
Well, I missed 18s. I missed the year of 18s.
Yeah, and you missed embarrassing yourself around your own city. Really.
Did I miss that though? Really?
No. So you came back and jump into. No doubt you.
Well, I actually started studying psychology all through high school. I'd always wanted to be a psychologist.
Can I ask what school were you?
Yeah, I went to Girls Grammar in Brisbane.
Oh, yeah.
Which is an amazing school.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brisbane Girls Grammar. Probably no one's listening, but
Rah rah. Is that the one?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so I went there, and all through school I wanted to be a psychologist, and so Moulin Rouge was kind of like my gap year, which I'd never intended to do. It just kind of happened. And then, yeah, came back and started studying psychology and French because I wanted to keep up the limited skill in French that I had acquired over in Paris. And then I kind of had like a bit of a quarter life crisis because I was working as a receptionist in a psychology clinic, which was it was super interesting because I was allowed to look at, the files so long as I didn't sort of relay that information to anyone, which I didn't. And yeah, it was like a fascinating job, but I have so much respect for people that can do that every day because I was there once a week and I wasn't even a therapist. I was just sitting in the reception chair and I was like, this is heavy. It's not I can't imagine doing that for the rest of my life. So, yeah, so I thought, what can I do where I can...
So it's where people sort of unload their problems.
Yeah.
Or you get that natural feeling to unload your problems to someone who wants to listen to them.
Yeah, and try and help you.
If you're in the reception, you're in there as well. Like you're...
Yeah, I mean, it had a feeling, just going in there, it was kind of like weighed down with emotion and, to be in a room with people intimately all day, every day and, extend a hand to them and try and pull them up. A lot of them not even there by choice, not wanting to get better. Like, it's just amazing how people can do that every day, and not lose faith and not let it affect them and be completely professional. Like, that blows my mind. So, I thought maybe that's not for me. So I thought about, what can I do where I'm thinking about, where I'm talking to people and listening to people's stories. And I always liked telling stories and writing. And, it just sort of came about that maybe this was the job for me. And so I studied journalism and here I am.
And here you are. You're really working though.
Yeah.
That's great because I had a girlfriend the year 2000 sort of era. She was, just like you, cute blonde sort of, she was in this journalist class and it looked like every cute blonde girl on the Gold Coast was in journalism.
Yep.
And I kind of looked around, I actually creeped into one of the classes at Griffith once. Looked around going, wow, there's some ladies here. And then I really thought...
I should have been a journalist.
Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you a funny story about that.
Okay.
And then I looked and went, geez, journalism, there are only a few jobs, like really. And if you're a great journalist, you'll stay there, so you actually, it's really hard to get in there. So you actually made it, what a success.
I think
in no time.
Yeah. Well, I think I was really lucky. Like, a lot of it's about timing. I mean, obviously, like you have to work hard and do lots of internships and be prepared to go wherever you need to go and say yes to anything that they ask you to do. But I think I just lucked out completely. I was working casually for NBN News across the border down in Lismore, and then a job just came up here on the Gold Coast, and for whatever reason, I was just there, and they just said, do you want to do it? And I said, hell yeah. So
Great.
It's just lucky. It's just good timing.
Wow. Are you can I ask, early 20s? Like you
I'm
look like
26.
you're 20. Right, 26.
Maybe I look young. That's good. Yeah, no, I'm 26. I turned 26 in January.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know what? I have a crisis about this all the time. Ladies listening, tell me I'm not the only one that goes through this, and maybe guys too. I don't know, but like, 25 is really the oldest I ever imagined myself. And so now I'm 26 and I'm like having a quarter life crisis because I'm past a quarter of a century old. It's like, yeah, now I don't know what to do with myself. 26 sounds super old compared to 25. 25 sounds fun and 26 sounds like a grown up, which I'm not.
You know, I went to Brisbane today and I was looking at, and I didn't, funnily enough, I did an audition for some TV commercial, right?
Cool.
Which I never really do anymore.
Yeah.
But I did. And the casting guy, Ryan Reynolds, right? Bit of a big shot from the States. He is, anyway, whatever. But he actually looked at me and he goes, "How old are you?" I said, 43. He goes, "Oh, yeah." And he looked away and I did a horrible cast, like the most horrible. I'm just horrible at it, right? And all the way drove home for an hour thinking, and I kept looking in the mirror, these wrinkles. Dude, of course, you know, he was asking me what my age is. It just never gets any better. So welcome to 26.
Thanks. I wouldn't have picked that, to be honest. You don't look a day over 30.
Yeah,
so.
whatever.
No, definitely true.
No, but someone said to me, you actually, the good thing to think about, which it took me a long time to really, I think everyone says the same thing, you know. Oh, God, I don't want to tell you this. It's more embarrassing. Definitely, once you get over 40, you start to stop caring because you realise you'll be dead soon.
40, oh my gosh.
You just know, like, hang on a minute, I'm halfway here. You know what?
Doesn't
and you
matter.
look at all your friends and they're looking a bit dusty. You're like, whoa, who cares? I look horrible, you look horrible too. Whatever. What are you going to do? But I feel strong. But I'm here to say I feel strong. Like, what we were saying before about people dying early and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think we are made to live to sort of the 40s. You know, you think medical science has sort of kept us to the 80s on average now.
Yeah.
But I feel so strong right now, Nicole, you know?
Evolutionarily speaking,
you're
kicking ass.
If I think about it when I was 26, such a dummy. The silly things I was thinking, you know?
It's true. I mean, I think like, even now, like, I look back a couple of years and I cringe about the things that I thought about the world. I'm like, oh my gosh. And you just know once you get to sort of this age and you start to have those thoughts, you just know that you're dreading 5 years down the track, looking back and thinking, oh my God, at 26, I can't believe that I was thinking that. But something else to look forward to. But
you're really at an advantage because you're in this industry, you're surrounded by sort of knowledgeable and quick thinking heads, like... You know, and even I saw you yesterday interviewing people across the thing here.
Yep.
And so you're constantly talking, and just like this podcast show has showed me in 1 year, everyone is just different. It's who you obviously who you surround yourself in. So
it's such a good thing in this job, like even by default. You know, obviously you read the news and you watch the news all the time, so you're taking in a lot of information, but even by default, like, you just have such good generalship because, you're talking to such a huge cross-section of people. And when you do a story, you're expected to be able to explain it to people. So I feel like you know a little bit about a lot of things. I don't feel like I'm an expert on anything, but I feel like, you know, from having to explain things to people, I've picked up a lot of information that I wouldn't otherwise know. And it's really handy.
Is there anything like, you just had a politician on your phone there? Mm-hmm. Is there any things like that you go, I just do not understand it? If I had to, my friend just started working at a bank, and I said to her on the weekend, I said, that's great. You'll actually get to know what no one really understands the banking system and what they're trying to sell you. Term deposits. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And if you do this and negative, I actually choose not to really learn it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Are there any things that you come across that you go, politics,
a lot with like with university studies when we have to do those and like scientific things. I don't have a brain for science or numbers or anything like that. So that's always really hard. Like when I'm talking to scientists and experts, I guess, you know, I'm always like, please explain it like I'm the dumbest person you've ever talked about this with, because, I probably am in their like histories of keynote speeches and, presenting their work to other experts. I'm like, just explain it like you're explaining it to
Explain
a
it like I'm
5-year-old.
five. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because that level of intellect to you is probably where I'm at,
Yeah.